Now let's get into the actual game, because there's a lot to get into as far as the game goes. Let's start with like what I felt like was the biggest story coming out of Saturday. There's a lot of them, but the biggest one, Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders was the best quarterback in the country on Saturday. Now, I don't know if he will be for the entire season, but on Saturday, he played better than anybody else in the country. That was an incredible performance by Shedeur Sanders. He's been a winner everywhere that he's been as a starting quarterback. Every level that he's played quarterback, he's been a winner. He's been efficient. He's been accurate. And I tell you, he put on a show on Saturday. As good of a performance from a quarterback wearing that uniform as I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot. I was born in 1982. I've been a college football fan since I can remember. I was, 5 years old, 6 years old. My dad took me to my first game at Folsom Field. I grew up just south of Boulder. I've seen a lot of Colorado games, a lot. Played in a lot of them myself. And that is absolutely the best quarterback performance. I've seen great quarterback moments, that maybe like rival or equal or even top that. Cordell's obviously the miracle in Michigan. I saw Charles Johnson come in as a backup and win the national championship game 10-9. I saw Bobby Pesavino, what he did in that game, winning 62-36 over Nebraska. I saw Coy Detmer and saw him play. I saw John Hessler play and Mike Machete play and all of them, right? I've seen it. I've seen all the great performances. Knew Bobby Anderson really well. That was it. Like, obviously, school record passing yards. That was the best performance I've seen a quarterback have in that uniform in my life. Kudos to Shedeur Sanders. Now I want to walk through what made it so great. Now let's get into the nitty gritty here. This is why you listen to this show. You want to know why. Why was it the best performance that you've ever seen in a Colorado uniform? Well, every single quarterback goes out there, and you've really got three things that you control, if you will. The operation of the system, your intelligence level, your preparation level, and then your performance, okay? I'm going to take a quick drink here so I can get through all this. Okay, so let's go through these. Operation. This takes no talent. It just takes the willingness to be a really good leader and dive into what the operation of the system is. Now, this also takes a great plan and a good offensive coordinator. And this is where Sean Lewis enters the conversation, the offensive coordinator. He was the Kent State head coach, and then he leaves a head coaching position to join Coach Prime and be the offensive coordinator for Colorado. His plan was exceptional. The preparation of that offense was exceptional. Shedeur's operation of that offense was exceptional. It was shockingly clean for a brand new team cobbled together in the transfer portal and then thrown out there with very few practices under their belt. Okay? Shockingly good, shockingly clean. The next part of this is the intelligence level, the preparation. Early in the game, I said that because Colorado was going to be somewhat deficient on the offensive line, that the game was going to have to be played through Shedeur's mind. This is what I meant by that. The ball had to go to the most opportune place at every moment. They were never going to just hand the football off against a loaded run box and like gain a bunch of yards because their offensive line was better than the defensive front. They were never going to be able to just say, like, you know what, like nondescript tank play, like go ahead, just, let it rip here or there. The ball always had to go to the right leverage, the right ratio. And that's stressful as a quarterback. I've been in those moments where every single play you're having to make a decision, whether it's a run or a pass. You're checking into that play, what you're doing with the protection so you can make sure you're in the most advantageous protection. You're making a decision where the ball is going to go, right or left, which concept you're going to read based on coverage. Everything has to be read. And so the game is played through the filter of his mind. And the ball went to the right spot all the time. the entire game, the ball was going to the correct spot and it was going there on time. And that's where we get into the performance aspect of this. If you really boil it down, and you've listened to this show and you've listened to me for any amount of time, you'll know that quarterback play really, when it's all said and done, now obviously not the intangibles, but when it's all said and done, it's really about timing and ball placement. Or better and more easily put, is the ball on target and on time. That's really all that matters when you're a quarterback. Like, let's face it, is the ball on target and on time? And let me tell you, it was. He never held on to it for too long. It was to the right spot, and it was generally very accurately thrown. You don't complete that many passes for that high a percentage when you're throwing that many times unless you're throwing the ball very accurately, and he was doing that. And when you accompany all three of those things, operation and intelligence and performance, and you accompany that with great players on the outside and really good talent on the outside, guess what? You get an explosion of offense. And that's what we saw from Colorado. So then a quarterback is playing at that level and distributing the ball at that level, on time, on target. Bam, 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 balls out, balls out. Now I've got to hold it, get the override, boom, balls out. Got a one-on-one, take it deep, boom, balls out. Didn't shy away from any throw at any moment. Third downs, fourth downs, didn't matter. He was on time and he was on target. And then you couple that with the fact that he had guys out there that were fast, could catch, could create space. Jimmy Horn, Edwards, Dylan Edwards, Xavier Weaver, Travis Hunter, Harrison, the tight end. Like, these guys can play out there. These guys can play. 4 guys go over 100 yards. He's distributing the ball all over the place. One of them is a back and a true freshman in his first game for Edwards, and looked amazing. It's like, how does a back go for 100 yards? Because the quarterback knows when he's supposed to get the ball. He knows the coverage, he knows the timing, and he gets the ball there on time and on target. The last thing that I would just say, and I alluded to it a little bit right there, was the mark of a great quarterback. Like, you can be a good player and do all the things that I was just saying. There were, and every quarterback has moments when you hit on all three of those things: operations, intelligence, and performance and talent. But it still takes something else in your heart and in your mind as far as the confidence goes. When you're really playing well, you don't shy away from any throw. You want that moment. You want it. You want fourth down. You want third down. You want to make the big throw. Shedeur had that on Saturday. 3rd and 16 to Travis Hunter. Bam, takes the fade. 4th down to Dylan Edwards. Bam, hits him in the flat. Touchdown. Exceptional performance. Shedeur Sanders, I'll say it again. Hands down, best quarterback performance in college football so far. Hands down. Now, we'll see if that can continue, but that's the way I feel so far.
Thank you for watching the Joel Klatt Show YouTube channel. And if you liked this clip, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel, and you can stay up to date on all of my college football coverage.